Okay, so we're back at it again today. We're gonna break down these motors that I paid $3 a piece for each of these, $12 total. We're gonna see what we can get out of it. And another thing I was looking at is this extension cord. My scrapyard will pay 60 cents a pound for that. So I thought, well, I can do the math here. I actually cut off 1 pound of that and I scaled it, and that pays 60 cents. So I took it and I ran it through my stripper, and the copper that I got out of it come up to $1.74. So to me, that's worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and strip that down. Then I'll do another test on this green wire, which is a lot thinner. I'm not sure if that's going to be worth it or not, but we'll try it out. So the last time I went to the scrapyard, after I broke down all those things I got from the auction, big heavy cast aluminum explosion-proof breaker box, I ended up getting a total of $5.95. So here's all the things that I had. I took in wire, I had yellow brass, I had 2 boxes of number 2 copper, Bear Bright, had 45 pounds of Bear Bright, and right on down the list. Stainless steel was 40 cents a pound. That extruded clean aluminum pays 80 cents a pound. And there's the cast aluminum, 168 pounds. Most of it was that breaker box for a total of $92.40. A grand total of $5.95. So now I got all this. This is my bright and shiny. There's my number 2. There's my red brass. I've got some. And there's my number 1 copper. I'm going to take all that in. I don't really have enough aluminum to take in, cast aluminum. So I will hold off on that one. And usually when I get shred, I'll throw it in. And when I get a couple of these barrels full, it's usually a couple of 100 pounds. So I'll take a couple of 100 pounds to my local scrapyard, which is like 4 or 5 miles down the road, just for house cleaning purposes. I don't want to have an accumulation of just scrap laying all over. So when I get those barrels full, I'll just usually take it in. This was like the other day I took in 300 pounds, and that got me a $20 bill. I got a 280 pounds for $18. So that's just extra money. Yeah, I just don't like to have a lot of junk laying around in the shop. I need the floor space. All right, let's start working on these motors right here. Start with this one right here. The one that I said had aluminum windings in it. But if you look closer down inside there, I don't know if you can see, there's a different size of wire down there. That might be copper because it's smaller. So that's what we're hoping for. So let's break this down. Gotta examine it here. Check it out and see what kinds of things are holding it together. It looks to be cast aluminum. Might have to break it apart. Not sure. Cut all these wires off of here. There's some brass in there. I'll break that apart here in a minute. Put that aside. Yep, that's aluminum. That's good. Well, I'll get this stuff out of here because it's probably steel. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there's the rotor. That's just going to be scrap. This is all aluminum, but I can't get that off there. So this will just go into the scrap. And we got to get the stator out of here. Do a scratch test on this. So, yeah, that's definitely aluminum. Let's get the smaller wire in here and see if, it's all aluminum. All right. So I might just cut that off later. I don't know. Separate the aluminum. Well, it's all aluminum except for this piece around here. It's all steel. So we're gonna set this on the side. We're gonna call this one a fail. All right, let's move on to this one here. Let's see. That's it. All right, so there is the, hopefully copper. Oh yeah, yep, that's all copper there. All right, so we gotta get that stator out of there. That one looks like a tough one. We have to cut this casing off of here. This is an old, thick motor, but a little bit of copper in there. I'm not sure what this is. We're gonna go ahead and cut. Looks like maybe something from a pool or something. Usually when there's something water related, these brass fittings, and maybe brass screws too. Stainless steel. Yeah, put these in the stainless. Little diaphragm. Not sure if that's aluminum. Yep, aluminum. This is junk. Got some wires in here. That's good. Let's just take that screw out of there. That's steel. All right, we'll take these wires out of here and throw them in the wire. Nope. Oh, there's a lot of oil in that. All right, so I got that other one out draining the oil. It was filled with oil. So that leaves us with this one here. It looks like it's aluminum with steel brackets, steel washers. Yep. Gotta break that. Now, no, still got some steel in there. Be that little plate right there. There we go, aluminum. It's like the same setup here. There's the rotor. All right, you can see all these windings in here. They're a gold color. I don't think I've ever seen gold. Let's see if they're copper though. It's aluminum. Yeah, you can see that's aluminum. Not good. All right, let's go check the other one that was draining. And the rotor come out real easy. Here's some aluminum, piece of aluminum. All right, let's do the scratch test, see if it's copper. Ah, yeah, you can see that's got some copper. All right, so we're gonna have to cut this one apart. I'd like to get that brass fitting off there, but that thing is just so rusted, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. We could set it up in the vise. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to sacrifice that. Okay, so I got two stators here. We're gonna have to break or cut these up. I'll go grind those and pull them stators out. All right, so there we have our motors all tore apart there. I can start pulling the copper out and we'll weigh it up. I don't have a good feeling. I'm not thinking it's going to be the greatest copper pull. We will set copper in here. This is very oily. Should be easy to get out. Just pull it out. Strands. The less cutting I have to do on this stuff, the more copper you get, and the less copper dust floating around. Just tap these out just like I've done before. Just got to find something, some kind of a large bolt or screw that you can just tap them out, as long as it'll fit through the inside slots that they're wound through. And scrap. Okay, so here we are with the copper that we got out of those two motors. The other two were aluminum. And I'm just gonna go ahead and weigh it in with my bucket of number 2 copper. So zero this out. Zeroed out. And dump our copper in here. And it comes up to 2.15 pounds. So 2.15 pounds at 315 comes up to like $6.77. And I paid $12 for them, so we're in the hole. But I can still break those down. This is all cast, so I can get that. This will count as sheet aluminum. And there's probably about maybe $3-4 in there. That's about it. So we went in the hole on that deal. But our goal still, we spent 123, and I said I wanted to get 160, 170. So we're still ahead. So I can just add that $6.77 onto the 90 some dollars that I made off of the copper, and the 20, I think I made close to 20 on the fan. So we're getting close. All right, so we just came back from the scrapyard, and good news is the prices of everything went up. As you can see, their number one copper is $3.60. It was $3.40. So I had 26 pounds I turned in. I had let's see, I had 19 pounds of number two copper at $3.35. That was $3.15. And the Bear Bright, I had 50 pounds of that at $3.70 a pound. And the yellow brass, I turned in 31 pounds at $2.30 a pound. And I had a little bit of cast aluminum for a grand total of $420. So that took care of everything that I had in the shop. And now we're going to start breaking down this other stuff. I'm going to break this generator down and see what kind of money I can pull out of that. And I also have another generator right there. I'm going to break that one down and see what kind of money we can get out of those. All right, that'll do it for this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.